Hi everyone, this is Judy, and today I'm going to show you how I cast my hat off the Addi king size express knitting machine. This is the 46 needle knitting machine, and today I'm going to show you how I cast off my hat. It's the roll-up hat, and I did a video yesterday showing how I started the knitting. That will be at the end of this video if you want to watch that one. That'll be at the end of the video. So if you need to watch that one, how to start the knitting, it'll be on that video at the end. Okay, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And hit the notification bell so when I do an upload, you'll be notified that I'm uploading a video. Okay, what I do is I leave 20 inches of yarn so I can cast off. So I leave about 20 inches. I'll leave a little bit more. It's about like that. And then I'll take my needle. You get a needle with the machine. Well, I got one with mine. And just thread your needle, your yarn needle. And open this up. And you're gonna turn your handle to where the needle drops. You're gonna drop this. You're going to drop this in the middle here. Drop that in the middle. And then you're going to start picking up your stitch. Don't drop too many needles, because if you do, you'll drop a lot of stitches. You don't want to do that. Just do, this needle is going to go down, and that's the needle I'm going to pick up with the sewing needle, with the yarn needle. Just cast off all your stitches. Just drop one needle at a time, and just take your sewing needle or yarn needle, whatever it is, and pick up each stitch. Just turn the knob, drop that needle down, and then you pick that needle up with your yarn needle. You pick that loop up with your yarn needle, so you can cast it off or bind it off or whatever. And turn it till that needle drops. And pick that one up. You can do this all the way until you get the whole hat off the knitting machine. But only make sure one needle goes down, and then you pick it up with your yarn needle. Because you don't want too many to go down. You'll drop it, and then your hat will start unraveling. Do this all the way until you get all the way around the hat. Takes a little while to get all the way around it. But for this hat, this road hat I knitted 60 rows on here. You can make it a little bigger, but I only do 60. Or if you want to make it smaller, you can do less rows. Depends on who you're making it for. If you want a bigger hat, you're going to do more rows. If you want a smaller hat, you're going to do less rows. And it depends on the yarn that you're using too. So just pick up your stitch from the front to the back. I go from the front and pick this stitch up right there. And take my yarn and go through it. Let just one needle drop, like that one there dropped. And pick it up. See how it's all coming off? It's all casting off of there. Now I want to just turn it just a little, your handle. Because you don't, like I said, you don't want too many of the needles to drop. And then your hat. See how that needle dropped down? That's the one you're going to go through and pick that stitch up. You're going to cast it off. And when you go through here, when you go through there, it keeps it from dropping the stitch. And like halfway there. It takes me a while to cast it off because I want to make sure I don't drop the stitches. So where the needle drops, that's the one you're going to cast. You're going to take your needle and go through it. Like when this one goes down like that, you know you can take your needle and go through and grab that stitch to start casting it off. And this is a pretty simple hat here to make. The rolled up bottom hat. This is a simple one. Just drop one needle at a time and then go through it with your yarn needle. And after I cast it off, then I'll show you how to close it up and then sew it together. And that'll be the top of the hat. This is an instruction book that you get, that I got with the Addi, how to make this roll-up hat. Drop one needle and then pick it up with your yarn needle. You drop that needle down, and then you can pick it up with your yarn needle. Sew through it. that needle and then pick it up and sew through it. See how it's all came off. Drop this needle down, turn your handle and drop it down to like that, and pick it up, sew it up, drop that needle down. You're going to go all the way to the other end, do the same thing, go from the front to the back. And this is called casting it off or binding it off the machine. This keeps your hat from unraveling. Almost got it all casted off. I got like 3 more needles to cast off. And these directions are in the instruction book that you get with your machine. And just like I said, you drop your needle down, this one here, and then you pick that stitch up with your yarn. You go through it like this with your yarn needle from the front to the back. And there we go, we got the whole thing casted off. And it should look like that when you cast it off. So what we're going to do is we're going to close this up here. We're going to turn it inside out. Turn it inside out like that. This is the inside. And then we're going to just sew it. Pull the string in. I don't know, just taking. I'm going to get ready and pull the string. I'll just try to flatten it out a little bit before I pull the string on it. Where the needle's at. We sewed it in with this. So we're going to take this here and we're going to pull it to close it up. To close the top. This is the top of the hat. You're going to pull it until it closes up like this. See how it's closing up? This is the top of the hat. Pull it so you can close up that hole. And it should look about like this. This is the inside of the hat. This is the wrong side. Okay, so you have it like this, and then you take your sewing needle that you had on the bottom. And then you sew it up so it don't open back up. So what I do is I go through it a few times. Just sew it like you would weave in and out of it. Do it. to sew the top of the hat. This is the top of the hat. This is the inside of it. Go all the way to the other end. After you sew in the top of your hat, then you'll have a string down here at the bottom that you have to sew in. You weave in that a little bit. Just flip your hat over, and your hat will be done. And it should look like this. This is the top of the hat where you sewn it in. And there's going to be it's going to be a piece down here that you have to weave in and out that the camera messed up. You didn't get to see it. But this piece you have to weave in a little bit and then just cut it off down here where your roll part's at. So your hat should look like a little bit like this. And this was knitted 60 rows to get a hat this size. And this is a pretty big hat. It stretches. And that's about it. That's how you cast your hat. That's how you cast off your hat on the Addi knitting machine. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Be blessed. Bye-bye.